light it still is out right now. So used to it being so dark, you know?
Yeah. It's starting to rain.
Oh my gosh, that rain.
Oh, and a hummingbird came through.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
And then a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I heard it fly away. Oh, good.
A sure sign of spring finally, right?
I know they've been spotted in Connecticut earlier this year.
All right, let me try to get Zoom going.
Oh, I saw a banned book on walking down here.
What did you say?
I saw a banned book.
Oh, a banned book.
On women's bodies and something. I said, oh, somebody's gonna put a band.
It's on display. Uh-oh. Hope not. Okay.
Some people don't like the Bible. I was like, oh, okay, you can ban the Bible, the Koran.
No. Yes, if you just finished it, because my other book club. And I would never read a book that describes an octopus who has a mind of his own. Like, such a crazy, like, I don't know who the author is. But I was like, a book about an octopus, and then like that's part of the story. Then the other half of the story is like an older woman who's processing her son's death. Again, never would pick that.
No, I
so
would never pick.
crazy sad.
Coming to book club next month?
I'm so my class ends tomorrow night.
Oh,
God,
we missed you. That'll be
I would
so
like
nice.
to.
I know.
Yes.
It's
Am I
probably
gonna have to
Station
go
11.
in front of the?
Since that
We have
last,
to tell
I
pandemic book.
No,
And then
so
you have to approve it,
yeah,
so we'll-
because I started my degree
before the
during
next
well, it
meeting
was
in September,
20
you have to go
spring of
down
21. I started.
Oh.
And it was all
court.
remote.
I can
But I don't
do
have to be interrogated
Yeah, and
in
when I
front
saw,
of
I almost forgot to
everybody
grab
that
it.
shows
Oh,
up.
Let's say
so
change-
happy.
let's say
I'm
change the
happy
rules.
too.
We had like 13 people ask.
Tricia,
Are you serious?
Tricia, you're the same, your term was up in June too. You want to stay on the board?
I don't know. Should I give somebody else a chance? I don't know. Don't ask me that. I'll have to go to the bathroom.
Are they clamoring to get in?
We've had some people request, yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yep, some
Okay.
people have asked, sent in requests to the selectman's office.
Oh.
Jody, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Your term isn't up. Okay, good.
So is that a yes that I have to go?
Well, we
To
have to tell
the-
the board, have to tell the town that we want to
I'm
be.
interested in
and then
staying on.
They will get back to us and you have to go to the town clerk,
Just to the town clerk?
before the September meeting.
Okay, that I can do. I just didn't want to go, last time I had to go to this public meeting and answer all of their questions.
That's probably this is the first time. I don't
Is that just the first time?
I think, yeah, they've been doing that with all the boards,
Yeah,
I've
'cause I never-
noticed,
I
I
never- I
usually
never
watch
did.
the meetings.
Oh,
But
wow.
I've been here 30 years. The
It's
rules have probably
just-
changed.
I
I thought the last time someone went, they had to go to the meeting, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, maybe, yeah, they'll tell us. Last time I was, one of my boards, I started 2021, I didn't have to go before the town committee. That was 2021.
Right, we were in COVID. Nobody
Yeah.
went anywhere.
And I was already on
Yeah.
the board forever and everybody knew me.
Yeah.
I guess they should have turned me down, but, but they didn't. Okay. So we have to let Doug know if you want to be continuing the board.
Doug wants to know right now.
We have to tell him what, you give us the date starting?
I'm sorry, what was that?
They give us a date and we have to let him know
I think the
I didn't
terms
think I
are
was
up at the
due.
end of June,
At
so
the
I
end?
think he'll need to know.
at the end of June.
And then there's a certain amount of time that they have.
Well,
to
I'll tell you
fill.
before then. I didn't think that was like coming up like as a thing. I
Well,
had
it's
to
the
figure out
end of June, June 30.
So by the next meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the next meeting
And
is.
I'm not gonna be here next week, I'm gonna be in Switzerland.
Oh,
Can I come with?
Yeah.
wait a minute.
That
Weren't
sounds
there
amazing.
pictures from Switzerland that we saw last time?
Pictures from students. Oh, it was on the board, yeah.
Yes, we have to.
Those
we have to
weren't
get on
your
gondolas.
pictures,
We
though.
have to get-
No.
We have to get to our place, we have to do it on the gondolas.
Oh, yes.
It's close, it's not very far.
Oh my God.
I think it's included in the railroad pass.
Oh my God.
Might not be.
And Sandra's in
The whole
Paris
fam-
right
the whole family's
now.
going.
So,
Wow.
There'll be seven of us.
Really?
Well,
Oh, that's so cool.
Ooh, that's an exciting trip.
Yeah, not one that I had thought was ever gonna happen, but caught John on a good night. He's in a good mood, feeling very melancholy / live life to the fullest. And I went, hey boys, let's get dad right now. And
So where are you going?
Alaska.
Oh.
And before we knew to Kyle got into American.
Oh, well.
And so we were like, oops, well, too late. Already booked it.
You have to go through Canada to get there?
Because
What's
I'm
You have to
using
go through Canada if you're
laptop
driving?
to
We are.
stream
We're not
on
driving.
YouTube. If
John
you
only
have
gets a week.
anything that
Oh,
you want to
oh,
say,
oh,
would you
that's
mind
it.
putting it in the
Two-day
chat
drive
for me
almost,
and then I
yeah.
can just read it
Actually, and I'm
out.
embarrassed to say this, but we're doing a cruise. Like a very moderate cruise, like very moderate, not like
Oh, they're all, they go from 5,000
I
to
know, but I feel
16,000.
bad going to see the melting ice caps on a cruise. It feels very ironic. But we're going to British Columbia, and then it's a 7-day.
So you need a
we-
passport then.
stops. Yes, we have those. I forgot what we got them, but we got them a few years ago.
They're good for 7 years.
The
10
boys
years.
got them. They were excited, not really at all, but I was like, you have to get them now because I want you to have them for like upcoming like Kyle for college or
Oh, yeah. And it goes to
'Cause it
study
takes a
abroad.
which he's already talking about. I'm like, you can't do that till like junior year, but you know, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You didn't need passports in Canada in the 50s and 60s.
They said that we didn't need. We also didn't need them when we went to Niagara. We got the that paper that says like this is my child.
Oh.
I'm not gonna steal them.
Hello.
Cameron, you're here too. Do you want to continue being on the board?
You want me?
Jody. Your background picture.
Okay,
looks fun.
everybody,
Oh,
yes,
thanks.
okay, we have to tell Ted, big,
That's
that's Ted,
Doug,
Doug
That's
before,
that's what's really
before
now.
June. Because we have rules.
But you can
Handbook.
note in
I'll get into the handbook has rules for
the Jen's remote.
library
Yep,
directors.
you don't have to put that she's joining.
Oh, she is?
She's joining on Zoom and Danny will be joining too.
Kevin Sue, yes, okay.
Remotely as well.
Yes.
He will be, yeah, and Craig will not be here today, and Sandra Girl will not be here
So
today.
we just,
Do you like it? And would you recommend it? Because
Mine's
mine's dying.
Yeah, it's my work one.
So, that's another
I
one.
need a personal one.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
good size.
these are, I understand, pretty important.
That's the name of like,
It's,
right?
it's an H.
Okay.
I think it's called an ThinkPad, yeah, it's a ThinkPad, the,
let's see.
ThinkPad used to be IBM,
okay,
and then they sold.
But you like it.
yeah.
I gotta start looking at them.
The one thing that was weird
These are
about
numbered.
changing was, because the laptop I had before it, the function, the control keys were opposite. And so when you do your shortcut keys, I had to adjust, but I adjusted quickly.
Yeah.
At first I was like, why isn't this working? Why is this working?
Because your fingers
Yeah.
went to the.
Yep, and
Oh, that's
I didn't realize that's what it was for a little bit, and I'm like, oh, it's that. Because I was thinking, why is this not working? Yeah,
It was really just you.
But now I can actually go between the two laptops because I still have my old one at work in case I need it for different things, and it doesn't even bother me. But that wasn't a switch.
Right, I had the same problem.
Yeah,
My
the function and control.
Yes, and then my company gave me a new, replacement, it's just every so many years you turn over, and the
Yeah.
keys are a different size, yeah. It's not good.
Oh, I noticed that when I went to try out the keyboards.
Yeah,
Very different.
very different.
And like also the
So
So this, like,
sensitivities.
I use
so
the
there's-
shortcut keys.
I haven't
when
bought
when
one
I'm
in 8
doing
years.
things,
My
and
husband
if
bought
they're-
these
I
guys
haven't
many years
figured out
ago,
shortcut
so.
yet.
Okay, I like the size of her keys and I like the size of the screen.
My
Yeah,
computer's
I
8 years
can't go
old.
smaller than this. At work, I have two screens I plug this into. This is kind of hard.
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
Do you ever use Apple?
No,
Yeah.
I don't wanna go that way, just because I'm just not.
Here's Apple. Yeah.
Okay, Danny is
I'm
on.
against apples or apple.
Danny, because I'm using the other laptop right now to stream for YouTube. If you have any comments or questions that you would like to have added, if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and put them in the chat and I can see them on your behalf.
Sandy Girl's not coming?
She's in Paris. She's not
In Paris.
It's a well-traveled group.
I know, right?
And Craig's not coming either, right?
Where's Craig?
Craig is not coming today. He's sick.
Oh, great, well, he's in Burlington, so that's not fun.
So, and Danny's on YouTube.
Danny's on Zoom, yep, and Jen is on Zoom. They're both
Zoom,
here.
okay, oh, we can start then, huh? 7 o'clock,
Okay. So,
okay. Call to order, 7 o'clock. We haven't changed it, public comment, any public comment?
I didn't receive anything.
No.
Request.
Everybody have a copy of the minutes from, April 4th,
I skipped them, yes, that one.
comments, corrections?
I didn't see any corrections.
no, you need a
Amendments.
motion to approve?
Yes, good idea.
I can second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion, the minutes have been approved. Ooh, okay. Friends of the library. Friends of the library, that will be me today. Okay. So far this year, because of donations and the book sale, we've taken $11,486. We're $5,410 above last year at the same time. And our book sale totals, including the upstairs books, are $3,174. And another good sign, our designated contributions exceed our budget for the year already. Our budget was $6,500, we've already taken $6,591 in for designated contributions. We haven't had our mailing yet or anything, so we're doing, our donors are still at 23. We're doing very good in this year. Any questions? Comments? Okay. You have any comments?
No,
questions?
I'm keeping my eye on the chat, I haven't seen anything.
Oh, and one thing in the Friends of the Library, when Kathy Pepe is coming in tomorrow,
Tomorrow, yeah.
she's has 2 funds at the library specifically for books and materials, and she's coming in to discuss it. So it's a good sign. Library lane sign.
Oh.
We were gonna update.
Skipping, well, I didn't have any correspondence if you need that for.
Oh, correspondence. Oh, I do. I have correspondence. The Connecticut Library Board newsletter, one of the items in the newsletter, which has been there for years, is they have access to their handbook, which is about 40 pages. They all legal, all the, what the town covers for legal liability, what some of the state rules are absolute, some of the state rules are overridden by the town rules. All that's in the association website, which is, anybody read the handbook? I haven't either, but if you want to look, it's their website is aclb.wildapricot.org. And they have all like the attendance rules for being a board member. They actually have an ethics policy as opposed to the Supreme Court. All the fiduciary things you can or can't do. Some of them they clearly indicate that some of the things we're not doing the legal part of it. But you should read it and understand what is in the handbook for your liabilities as a library board director and how you're protected by the town. If you do anything that's in the town, in the Connecticut Library statutes, you're protected by the town for legal liability. The town is obligated to do that. If for whatever reason you do something totally uncovered, then you have to have your own insurance policy covered. They have
When you say like if you do, you mean the library director or the library and the
a
board?
board.
That's what it
As a board member, you have certain liabilities and
Gotcha.
protections. And as long as you stay within those, if you can't profit, you can't do something in the library that would profit you directly. That would be, you wouldn't be protected. But if you, like, I don't know if people know, but one town, 2 years ago, they wanted to take away the library funds because the library wasn't doing what they wanted them to do. The Connecticut Attorney General said no. Once they approve the funds for a year, they can't take them away. It's the library director's responsibility to distribute the funds. They can take them away the next year, but they can't take them away currently, and the town backed off. They were just making noise. And that might be the same with the book banning policy, that if books come up and you don't approve it, the town doesn't agree, they can't take away your funding. But it's a very ACLB, you want to read it? Yes.
No, I send it.
Yes, I didn't think anybody wanted to. Okay. We're at public comment.
Library lane sign.
The sign.
We don't have any public comments?
Nope, yep, we didn't have any for that.
Okay,
So for the library lane sign, I received a new mock-up today. This is with a hanging sign, PVC, with the roof, and the total cost is a little over $9,000. Now,
In the summer, we're closed on Saturday.
Yes.
Do we get a,
so there will be a second sign, which is why I indicated ×2 right here.
oh, okay, cool.
Now, I took a look at some other signs in the area and how they look. And nobody really is posting the hours on the sign. It's just a simple library sign.
It's really simple.
It's really simple and it's also a lot more cost effective.
it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier.
Is the last month, we talked a lot about the lighting as
Yes.
a piece, so I can't read it, but I remember you were gonna go back to
The
them about it.
lighting, they want to try to reuse the existing lighting. I talked to the highway department. That, the way it is right now, nobody's paying for it here. So in order to disconnect it safely, it's going to be brought to the attention that it's been unpaid for. And it's not the church who's paying for it. I did check on that. So there is a box down there, an electrical box that the town does pay for. So what we would need to do is put in a circuit line, dig a trench down to that way, and connect our sign lighting to the town's box, and then start paying legitimately for lighting. It was recommended that we don't do solar because the bulbs are very expensive and that they would burn out and probably need to be replaced every year, they thought, so.
And by reusing the lights, they're mounted up on underneath that ridge?
So they do not
No,
know, the
these
sign
are
company
round.
does not know our situation with the lighting, so they're
But they're
assuming.
not currently on the ground, you know that, right?
No, is this one for the ones that, the
It's-
wires that are in the ground?
They're assuming it's exactly how the lights are now and that we're on
They're
the
not on the ground.
up and everything.
So
They
they're,
shine down.
They shine down.
so
yeah.
like that would be using the shine down ones. Okay.
Or if we had something on the ground, it could be either way. So I talked to, like I said, I talked to the highway department. They suggested that they take, and I asked them, they're willing, they would take care of the removal of the sign and the installation of a new sign. They also said they can make the posts for us out of PVC. And if we really wanted the roof, which to be completely honest, you know, take it or leave it, I don't really have a strong opinion on it, they can make the roof for us as well. So what I would end up doing is just asking Right Way to make this portion right here, which would be,
So
about
like
$1,600.
the rectangle, right?
The rectangle, so that's really a double-sided rectangle.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to just have them do if the highway department is able to do the rest of the work. They did say they will need to bring an electrician in because of the way it's set up now, so. We're looking at the highway department doing the posts, the roof if it's what we want, the removal of the old sign, the installation of a new sign, and lighting for it. Probably would need a new set of lights,
So the 470 would go, right, hanging sign? would be-
470 times 2, because
Oh, okay.
after looking at the other signs, I mean, I just think a nice clean sign with our name on it is the best way to go with the way people are flying by on the road. So if that is what we go for, it would be a significant savings. Now, this is from the current fiscal year's capital for the sign. So I did talk to Doug and I said where we were at with making a decision on the sign and waiting to get mock-ups, and the fact that we're not the only client that this company has, it's not going to be done by the end of June. So he said I could request to the Board of Finance that we roll that over and use it for next year, which gives us a little more leeway to work on the highway department's schedule when they can get
I
down and
think
do
what I
it.
want is a vote whether or not no installation and get rid of the 470 times 2 with the hanging sign, if that's what we want to coincide.
Right, let's do one at a time.
So can I make a general comment about this design?
Mhm.
I think the word Burlington's way too small.
Okay,
Even just in
Oh.
general, I think If you're just really just putting our name, then I would put the same size right on top, but just like some of the other ones are in the
Yeah.
same font.
Keeping it
Yep.
the same as public library.
Yeah, I
Looks
think
more like the other
Yeah, I
sides.
think the decoration between the words aren't necessary in terms of really just looking for that, then
Okay.
I would use the same font and I wouldn't put it on, I just make it larger.
Okay.
Than it is now, but, that'd be my first opinion on that, but, I can go
Look
either.
at the other signs again.
Yeah, that's,
This is Plainville.
I didn't realize they didn't have hours,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's because I must go there so often that I see it at the door, maybe. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I
so-
think we were thinking the hours and the days would help us with traffic. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Do we currently have it out there?
Yeah. No.
Why we're continuing it?
We, oh my gosh, do we have it out there? No.
I mean,
But like the number
I think
and
what was
the
designed
name,
looks very nice, but I can go either way. I mean, in showing these other ones, I mean, just.
it's gonna be better than the Holland.
If you don't have the times,
Well,
then you can make Burlington bigger,
Sure.
easier.
Yep.
Sure,
Just make the,
what do you
Get rid
want?
of that
What do you want, the
decoration,
bend
yeah.
or
no,
straight?
no.
You want the circle?
I would say straight. If we're getting rid of that decoration, it probably. would
Yeah, I
be
think
better
that's why they
straight.
bent it, because
Yeah.
to make it look like,
Decoration.
Let me just see, like
what is that,
how,
like just like a
Plainville-
floor? Is it just like a thing, or is it like a symbol of something?
no, it's just
Oh,
a decorative,
like a fleur de
like a
lis or whatever.
flourish. I
Okay.
think something like this is what you're saying you want, the same size font,
Yeah.
Burlington on top, public library, and then we'll put the 34 on there.
And no
I like
decoration.
34.
The 34 will be on there. I don't necessarily know if it needs to be printed, if Ben or the highway department can do a roof, or if we would just get like mailbox numbers and put it on, so.
Oh, so the house number doesn't show on ours, right?
It's up
Oh,
there.
it is. up
It's
there.
on the roof,
Yeah,
it is
okay.
down.
Oh,
Oh,
it is
so
up
if we had the town do it, they could just.
They
put
would
the
just
numbers.
mailbox number
Yep,
signs.
okay.
yeah.
Right.
I do like the shape of the roof. I'm sure it would look really pretty without it too, but I like the roof, but
The
No,
highway
I
department
like the
could
roof.
do the roof,
Keep
though,
the
you
roof.
said.
they said they could.
yeah.
Could.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
They can, I would wait before we decided and see how much it's going to cost though. So the roof for,
I think what's gonna happen with the roof, like my thought on this would be, and I didn't stop to see exactly where, but I did know on the way out that the lights shine down. I think lights shining up are problematic with snow and other things, so I think you're gonna want to try to keep it as
Okay,
is,
and
as
put the
best as
lights on
possible,
there.
so the roof helps with that. Because then you have something to put it
Right.
on.
We had talked about that too, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
that-
never heard
that's true.
lights described as solar before. What did you mean by that?
Solar
Solar power?
lighting, just, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Powered by
Yes,
solar. Okay,
yes.
so it's LED lights.
Yeah,
It would be
solar power,
Got it.
yes.
But it was recommended that we don't do
So it
that.
wouldn't need the wiring, right?
Well, no, I would stick with an electrical light, but I think the right thing to do at this time is to connect to the town's box.
Yeah,
So,
Greg had said something about a kind of bulb, I think.
yeah.
Like a smarter bulb, I thought, right? Because then you change it less or something. Didn't he, or
Yeah.
maybe he said the ones we have are really good right now because he hardly ever has to
They
change the
hardly
bulbs.
ever
that's the
change.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe keeping that because it works.
I can see too, and
Since we're
right,
keeping the electricity, maybe.
well, right now, we're paying for the electricity at the field across the lane, so maybe we can
That's
call it even and say, throw
Yeah.
us on your box, because I think they use that box for the Christmas trees, so.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think
Wow.
I will meet with Scott and see what he says and see what his timetable is, and then I'll send this back to Right Way and have them just redesign the Burlington Public Library. I'll send some samples. I'll send the Plainville one for the font.
What are those boxes?
Look
Like
at each side.
each side of school?
Oh,
That
those
looks
are
like
the
a
things-
decorative.
those
Oh,
are
it's just a
little-
decorative, but if the town is making the post for
Okay.
us,
Those are made, the clips holding the sign on the post.
No, this.
right here.
Oh,
Yeah, the
oh,
like,
yes.
it's
It
like
looks like
a.
a barcode.
Oh, those.
Okay.
Yeah,
does
I
have
think
a
it's
logo on
just
it.
like some sort of,
Yeah.
it looks like a decorative object maybe, but we could just have a plain old post.
Judy,
so.
do you not want the hours anymore?
I don't want
You
the
don't,
hours. I
okay.
didn't want the hours
Okay.
from, but that, yeah, I just think it looks a little cleaner without it. So.
So if we don't have the hours there, they can make the sign a little deeper, you know
Put
what I'm
it
saying?
lower?
Like
Yeah.
longer.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because they'll have to, because the font is going to increase.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sign.
And
Okay.
when I was driving over here today, the hatchery has,
Oh, that's
has they,
100
yeah,
years.
they, exactly,
Yeah.
but they have a roof over there.
Yep.
It faces the other way. I think I like this way better.
Okay, I'll get back to Kelly this week.
You
I told
know,
her.
you're looking at this.
What a
We're
difference
gonna
in
keep
the
the
cost.
little circle on
It's
the
a
bottom?
huge door.
It's like almost
That's the
laughable.
town,
No, that's gonna stay.
right?
Yeah.
What's that? I'm
That's
sorry.
Town
okay.
emblem.
And
Yeah, they recommended it, so it would match with the others. Would you rather it be a book, an open book, or something like that? I
What
mean,
ones does it match?
Interesting.
Oh, other
Other
town
signs in
signs?
town,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
So they've done other
I
signs
noticed
for the
that.
town, so she
Yeah,
said
we have
that
some to look for.
they would just follow that model, but if you would prefer, we could do something like an open book design or.
Well, that's like,
Don't we already have a
Special to the
green
town.
sign that's like the international sign for library, right? On the
It's
road?
right before you turn, yeah, it's that like really
like
stick figure-y kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that,
I kind of like I like the pop of green, and I like that it made it look like we're part of the rest of the town organization, so. Okay, I will reach out to her then with the changes and have it for you at the next meeting.
And the sign's gonna be made out of what material?
PVC.
Okay.
And I'll see if I can meet with Scott and get some kind of timeline. We are getting to his busy season, so if it has to wait until the fall, I think that's fine. I mean, they've been doing a lot of favors for me up here, so I'm trying to be patient with them as much as I.
Is the bathroom back to the way it
Bathroom's
should be?
beautiful, the lights in the community room are beautiful. They're about to save me $600-700 on replacing batteries and exit signs, and they are going to be taking care of replacing the flagpole lights for us as well, so.
Wow.
They,
Town maintenance,
They've
doing the
been-
town maintenance.
so
Sorry.
helpful.
Just
they used to not get any.
No, I think it's great. She's made a good relationship with them and it's getting
Yeah.
done, and that's a great,
Well,
very grateful for that.
I thank them for the job they did on that.
Yes.
Personally, they're up. I think they're-
Yeah, you had said, yeah,
Yeah,
yep, and that means a lot.
Yeah,
it
they've been
does.
wonderful for me. Let's see. Okay, so I gave everyone in the packet the drafts of the policies that we're going to be talking about tonight. Let's start with the public comment policy, which is it's the last page. So what I did is I didn't, reinvent the wheel. I just went to a bunch of different libraries, looked at what they were doing, and tried to just fit it into what we were looking to do with public comments at our meetings.
Oh, why doesn't have it on there?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy, here,
There's another page?
take that.
is
Sorry about
it
that.
stapled to the back,
I think from the back of that, then
but behind your statistics?
Is there a reason we're
You're all set.
worrying about?
We talked about it a few meetings ago about, if people have challenges to books or anything like that, and public.
Proactive.
We don't want, a lot of library boards are finding right now that random groups and organizations and not members of the town are coming to vocalize their concerns for the collection. So this will limit who can comment and, how long they have to comment, so.
I understand everything because we talked so much about like those details, but the only part I don't know about is the chairperson is responsible. Who's the chairperson?
So Sandy, so he would be the one
okay.
to
So
say
the
like,
president of the board. Okay.
he would call the
Are
next
you the
person.
chairperson? Do we call you that? No, I wasn't sure. I thought you
Would
were
you say
president.
president?
I might be the president, yeah.
Good, yeah,
Okay.
we could change it.
Everything else seems
Yeah.
like exactly what we talked about. Like the part about how we don't have to respond to what they say. Like we're just letting them have a
You're
voice.
just letting them speak.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
just
also
sure.
about the making sure we know that they are a resident. Right?
Yep.
Seems pretty cut and dry and clear.
So just for clarification, if someone identifies themselves with name and address and says they're affiliated with
The Girl Scouts
the
or
Girl
something,
Scouts,
yeah.
and then another person does the same, only one of us gets to speak.
Yes, you would select the representative to speak for the organization. If we were doing a second
But if I
public,
didn't write down it was from the Girl Scouts, I could speak, even if I'm speaking about the Girl
Yeah.
Scouts. So,
ahead of time, you couldn't once like the time to register for a public comment has closed, you wouldn't be able to run.
but
it
no,
every
what I mean
once.
is like, so
Yeah.
if I'd like to say something and it's in support of, it happens to be in support of something that I want to represent, and it has to do with the same topic that the person representing the Girl Scouts wants to talk about, we'll both be able to speak.
Yeah,
So I don't know
Unless-
why, I don't know why the bullet about the group should be there. I think that's
Okay.
kind of, I mean, I don't think we're having a problem anyway, that.
Oh,
I-
maybe
I
because the
think that-
time frame.
I think
Like,
the fourth bullet is just like maybe unnecessary and maybe a little bit discriminatory too, to say that a group can only have one voice.
well, what happens if it's someone coming in from a book banning group and you have 25 people that show up to a meeting and they all
Yeah.
have,
is there anything in there that?
So
As long
in,
as they're residents, they should get their 3 minutes.
unless they're speaking on behalf of,
If
Well,
they're a
in-
resident, they should get their 3
In
minutes.
some organizations, public comment is limited to 15
yep,
minutes.
and we can add that.
And so if you have 5 people who speak and use all 3 minutes, it's the board's prerogative to extend that. So the board votes quickly to say, there are 2 more people on the list, would you be willing to have these people speak? And then usually the board says yes, and then you say it. So that's the way around that a little bit, but so you're not there for
So it
2
doesn't
hours
look
public comment.
limiting.
It
So,
doesn't,
so you don't,
Yeah.
and so sometimes you're given the opportunity, but I mean, in it,
it doesn't say they have to be resident, though.
they don't have to be resident, actually, we
Okay.
talked about that last time.
You know?
Oh, sorry, I meant we would know if they were a resident.
At a board of
Yeah,
education, you
Danny's
do have to be
asking about this, and I'm gonna let him, Danny, if you wanna go ahead and unmute and just, it'd probably be easier than going back and forth through chat.
I know a couple of people brought it up as well, but we had mentioned the idea of having the Burlington resident
Yeah,
sort of clause on it, and I was wondering, is that something that we want to put in writing for that third point?
Yeah.
Where
I,
it said the name, address, and group affiliation, and then saying that or we can say public comments are permitted during the time designated on the meeting agenda by Burlington residents, something like that.
I think you need to be a resident or a taxpayer in town to comment. I don't think outside organizations.
I
or
thought last time we said no.
We did, I don't, after reading a
Okay.
lot of other policies, I don't necessarily agree that anyone can come to the meeting and speak. I think you
We're
need
just
to be.
saying, last time we talked about it, we thought we thought.
And I didn't put it in, but like after, hearing what he's saying, I do think that,
We don't have to answer their questions, right? We don't-
no, and they don't at the Board of Selectmen meeting. Doug will say
You shouldn't respond to that.
he'll, if there's anything to address, but I can add in a 15-minute time limit and take out groups wishing to speak. And,
15 minutes in total or per person?
no, it's a
Total.
3-minute limit, yeah,
Three, okay.
maximum 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yep, I can do that.
So we should have 15-minute total, right?
15-minute,
So we'll
yeah.
get 5 comments. Oh, no, you could have.
No, you might have somebody who
Right,
only
right.
speaks for,
15 total, okay. 15 total.
Jen, did you want to add anything? You want to unmute and add, or did we answer your questions? I think you were talking about the limit.
Yep, you caught them all, thank
Okay.
you.
I will make those changes for next
So
meeting.
just identifying them and speaking, but not signing the sheet will not count?
So
It's, yeah, I mean, what would you prefer to do as the president? I mean, you'll be the one who's calling people up. So is it helpful to have a list and say, okay, now we're gonna hear from John Doe and have them come up to
It doesn't
speak?
say that specifically, though, that they have to sign the sheet.
that's,
It says a sheet will
It says
request,
available.
yes, and
Oh,
okay.
It says
Oh,
available.
okay.
It doesn't say they have to sign it.
Okay.
They could identify themselves.
well, it does say, I see what you're saying. It says,
Audience members, to let the board
the
know.
sheet will request this information. Anyone refusing to identify themselves will not be permitted to speak. It's inferred to me on the sheet, but you have to say anyone refusing to identify themselves in writing will not be permitted
Or-
to speak.
anyone refusing to complete the sign-in sheet?
Right.
I don't know, but I see what you're saying, like,
Anyone
it could be a little
refusing
vague.
to sign
Right,
in.
you
That's
said-
how you can go around
It
it,
just
yeah.
says available.
Do you want me to say a sign-in sheet will be provided and anyone wishing to participate.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's what she has.
I was like picking this.
Well, they
Oh, I
get to the details today like that. No, didn't say that. Specifically.
There's more than one. Speakers must be a resident or taxpayer.
Mhm.
Okay, take out the part about groups. And then, do you want me to take out group affiliation, if any, and just say request name and address?
Right, because, you could be affiliated with lots of groups.
Okay.
Yeah, well, most people are, but they're not coming here to speak on for those groups.
Didn't we bring up the group affiliation because we were concerned about
I think
Yeah.
I just got that language from other policies that
Okay.
we added, so,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, I will add that and I'll add in a 15-minute time limit. So I've got, just to
Yeah.
make sure I got everything, take out the groups wishing to speak, take out group affiliation, change chairperson to president, add 15-minute time limit, and change the language where it says a sign-in sheet will be provided and anyone wishing to speak, ...
Well,
Add that in.
I'm thinking maybe we should limit anybody speaking on behalf of the group.
I think 15 minutes company.
No, but a lot of people have group affiliation, but only if they're speaking for that group do we want to know who they're speaking for. Right? Because you could have 10 people from one group, and if they're speaking on behalf of that group, that's why we're saying one.
So keep the groups wishing to
Well,
speak.
anybody's-
Oh, because if you're the president and you have to decide, okay, I've had 15 people from ban this book group,
Right.
right? And then
Yeah.
that last two people are not from that
General.
group, you're
Okay.
really not giving an even amount. Is that what you mean? Like, if they did put the group, then maybe
I
there's
see
a
what
way
you're
that you could determine to say, we're gonna extend the 15 minutes.
No, I'm just saying,
Or-
we.
No, they
somebody's
wouldn't
speaking on behalf
monopolize
of
the
group, we only
time.
want one person to speak.
Yeah, monopolize.
This doesn't
Okay,
say
gotcha. Yeah.
that.
So
Yep.
keep
Okay.
in groups wishing to speak must select one person to
Right,
participate. Okay,
yes, yeah,
so we're keeping that.
right,
Okay,
Oh, you're keeping that now.
keeping it.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
anything,
And that way, they're not asking for any particular, you don't have to list all your groups, just the
Mhm.
group you're speaking on behalf of,
Yeah.
and you're limited to one person. They can take up the whole meeting, privately.
okay, and Danny and Jim, I apologize, I'm just scanning through some of your comments from before. Battery powered LEDs instead, okay, I can ask about the battery powered LEDs for the sign. And Jen said she also liked the town seal, okay, I apologize for not saying those sooner. Okay, anything else on public comment policy?
One little thing,
Yeah, no,
at the
please.
bottom where it says all comments made will become part of the meeting record, only because I've just recently become a secretary, so I really appreciate what you do, your job. How is it that the comments are made part of the record? Like, because it's really hard to like take responsibility to paraphrase someone.
I don't think you need to, don't you just say public comment and then you would say like Jody Papazian, 34 Library Lane, isn't that how they're normally recorded?
It says nature though. Of
Oh, in
their
the nature,
comments, So
okay.
I was like what if you?
Jody Papazian Library Lane, library sign or something like that, it's
You
just
spoke
really
in
big,
favor of,
yeah.
like, we just don't.
So it's
spoke in
just
favor
very,
of
generic. It's
yeah.
generic and like
Just-
objective.
Not specific, just
Yeah.
one sentence, just
Okay.
your name, your address, and,
Do we need to say that in the policy or
Your
is that
name and
assumed?
address.
You knew, but I don't know if I was speaking vehemently about something or passionately, right?
Well,
I
you-
want every little thing that I said.
It's a funding.
That's why
I
we don't
think-
do it.
I think-
well, that's why I
I
don't do
think we-
it, yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm wondering,
Yeah.
because
So
I-
I think nature means that you're not like verbatim.
Gotcha.
Right.
Nature of their comments.
That's the way that
It's just
you
a
say it.
succinct
You
summary.
misquoted me,
Yeah.
right, you're
Right,
just,
so
I
it's
know,
the
I just
nature.
think about the
That's true,
person that's
too.
gonna say that.
And so in those cases, you say as little as possible, and like you really just say,
And I'm really bad at like taking minutes right now. I'm writing too much.
you got the name,
I
the
do that
address,
all the
and
time.
And the thing is, some people appreciate it and other people don't, and because it holds people accountable for what they say they're gonna do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Anything else with the public comment policy? Okay, I will go ahead and make those changes. So I attended a meeting with the state library about policies, so it was actually good timing because we had talked so much about policy last time. And what I ended up doing is I merged a couple of our policies together. I merged our material selection policy with weeding, because weeding is a part of collection development. And then I also put in the challenge of materials in there. It's all together. What I will do, and it's not in here in my draft, but there will be a link right under number 7 to the form if you want to challenge. So there will be a link to the form. I'm gonna put that in here. And then I noticed that most of the libraries that I was looking at when I did policies, they make a point to link to the Library Bill of Rights, the ALA intellectual, they do all of that, we're not. So it's just a matter of embedding the links, and I think that we need to be doing
Yeah, that's in their newsletter, right?
Yeah,
They do links to all the state statutes.
so these policies were already ones that we have. I just merged them, so if you look on our website, we've got a material selection policy, we had the complaint policy, and we did not have a weeding policy. And it's important to put that in there because people will see us reading the collection and getting rid of books, and they
Curious George Smoker.
don't, yeah. They don't always understand
What was
why
it?
we need to do that.
Oh, weeding, selection policy.
Weeding, yeah. So we did have a weeding policy already, it just was not laid out separately.
Added the challenge of materials is the new stuff.
Challenge of materials we already had, we called it complaint policy and procedure, so I am just putting it in with material selection, so.
So this is a merge of materials, weeding, and
And
challenge of
complaint
materials.
complaint
and
policy. So we've got materials and complaint on our website, but we never put the weeding on there.
And then you've added what? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find.
I added weeding, and I also did add in.
No, I'm sorry. You said we added something that you did not have, like materials.
Oh,
like
at the
materials,
very last
weeding, and
thing.
complaint
There's a
we had, and then you're adding.
I
those
added the
rights.
11 links that are on the last page, that are the ALA policies and the Library Bill of Rights.
You have the word fundamental rights twice in that sentence above number 1 there. Burlington Public Library adopts the following fundamental rights.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't see what that's. Okay, thank you.
On number 3, you
Yep.
have topical interest, community interest. Are they the same or different?
I would view them as different, as somebody that's reviewing a journal, and I did add this piece in. So do review the bullets for number 3. And I would consider like a topical interest, like Paris Hilton has a new memoir out. Is that necessarily interest for the community? Maybe not, but it's a topical interest and other people might want to borrow it.
I feel like if there's something trending in crafts like macrame,
Yeah.
that's a topical versus community,
Community
which
interest
might be
might
about
Bike
pollinators.
trails or something.
Yeah,
Right,
bike
right.
trails. Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I think that's a good task. So, okay, I'm just gonna check the chat.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, thank you, Jen.
I haven't
I'll
been
get
able
that
to read it
number
there yet.
s-
No, it's okay. Tonight.
But do we
I just
need,
want to read.
do we need a 2 in here? Relation existing library holdings, relation to maybe? Make it read.
Oh, I thought of something else you can add that she
And
said.
Jen's got a typo to be fixed
In
on
the
number 7.
she's gonna do a link in number 7, a link to the complaint.
It says taxpayer, not taxpayer. Get that fixed up.
I think we need a 2,
A 2?
relation to existing library holdings.
Oh, which number are you on,
I'm
Sandy?
on,
Oh,
criteria
yeah.
for selection.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to make it.
Yep.
A real, relation to.
Jody, do you go in and personally do the website changes?
Yes.
Did you know how to do that already?
No.
My wife said,
You self-taught.
my wife said
I
there was a
don't know
rumor
if
that
it
we had,
works.
somebody came and get, along the book thing, but I haven't heard that.
I'm sorry, what was that, Sandy?
My wife said there's a rumor going around that somebody had complained about the Burlington books.
Not to me.
Good, that's what I
That's
told
for
her.
staff,
That's, I said,
so
you would have told us.
I would have
Yes,
chosen
okay.
one, yes, no.
I've been at the top of the agenda.
Yeah, not so far, I have not. When, was this recently she heard of that, or,
This somebody, you know, what, maybe she's at the garden club or
but recently?
exercise, somebody said that.
No,
It was going around someplace in
not
Connecticut.
yet. I'm sure we'll get our turn, though.
Always, people who complain are always about it.
Yeah,
It's happening everywhere.
okay, good, that's,
Right. That's good.
Just as a matter of capitalization,
Mm-hmm.
people's titles not following their names, should not be capitalized.
Okay, I
So,
actually,
like, The
yeah,
library directors, assistant superintendent, president, when you're just saying it, it's not capitalized, but
Okay.
if you said Jody.
Okay.
Pakazan,
I can fix that.
Library director, then it would be capitalized.
Yep, okay. I saw that in some of the other ones, so I was just following that style. They also would capitalize library throughout. So I did do that. I left library capitalized throughout. I noticed that we usually did not capitalize it, but.
probably like the library shall provide,
If that's the case, then you missed it in the first paragraph.
yeah, right. The fourth line.
That surprises me about the titles.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you-
I would think they would be.
If you Google it, I've done it a number of times to make sure, like titles of people, like.
knew that.
Well, like Friends of the Library, that's the name of a group, so that can be capitalized. Because these are not like, it's not her name. Got it.
Okay, anything else on material selection
I check
policy?
this every time.
Did you see his
I check
typo?
it out
Let's see.
Like, okay.
I saw Jen had the
Yes.
typo,
Oh,
yep, and I
okay.
have that notated, so we'll fix that.
So do we have to wait on voting on these for
Yes,
final?
until
Okay, that's what I
get
thought.
them fixed, yeah.
Until, sorry.
No, my gosh,
So
no.
just a quick, so in the agenda, you wrote some other policies that we're not talking about. So you had written.
Collection
public-
develop, so we did the public comment. The collection development policy is material selection policy, but I can change that to collection development.
I added material selection, what do you want, how do you want it to read?
I think I wanted to read material selection.
Alright, so then behavior policy,
Behavior policy, I just wanted to update because last time we were looking for that and it wasn't showing up on the website and this year, and that was something that,
so you're just confirming that it's now
it's there
behavior?
and, yeah, I did notice that some libraries do a code of conduct and they post it, but ours seemed to be pretty much exactly what the code of conduct usually states, so I would suggest that we print this out and post it within the library though. And ours was pretty up to date. They said sometimes, I did want to say too, one of the things that they mentioned at the meeting is if we look at number 7, smoking, oh no, that's the same, which places it's, they're talking about vaping. Yeah, maybe that was
Similar devices.
They did say that some libraries are starting to add to their behavior policy that you cannot bring, if this becomes like a concealed open carry state, that you cannot bring weapons into the library. They said that library schools are protected from that, but we're
Okay,
not
so we don't need to
there
put it in
yet,
again to
so,
be proactive,
we're
because it would
not.
be easier to put it in
It's just
before.
something to keep on the horizon, so. You know, that, I just wanted to confirm that this was up and we had one.
Is this a change? Do we need to,
Nothing was,
no, is that a title change to do?
we were calling it material selection already.
Already,
So
okay.
already, yeah, I think when we were talking last month, I just said collection development. And I don't have anything for building use policy, I apologize, but that was all I got.
That's okay, we actually recently updated that, the building use. We did a lot of back and forth with Marie on that one and made it up to date.
Yeah.
With the
When we
building
when we
use.
expanded.
last week.
Yes. Yeah, with all that fun
I
stuff.
think we had talked about the conference room having that part of it, but because I can't track who not the garage, the study rooms.
Study rooms,
I
right.
don't track who uses those, there's no way, I can't see how we can add that, it would fall under
It's
behavior.
not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it.
It would fall under the behavior use policy, I think they're expected to. And then Danny had asked about possibly putting in a tutoring policy. I did find that Avon has one, so we can put that on for next month and see how they handle the tutoring
Tutoring?
policy. Tutoring,
Are-
if they have private tutors coming
Okay.
in, so.
Have we found that tutors, they're filling up the library? Are we running out of space because of that?
No, it was more in response to what happened with the bathrooms and if there were certain rules for them to follow supervision, how it would work with a private tutor,
They
so.
haven't been a
Have
problem.
have they been back?
Well, one student was arrested and not allowed to come back, the other one, yes.
Region 10
Yes.
and.
Yes, they've been coming back with different students and different tutors, yes, yeah. And Sandy and I met with, oh gosh, I can't remember her name now, but she's
Debbie.
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 I don't, but we talked about how they can,
Debbie Foley.
was it
Foley,
fully?
yes.
Okay. So they're now contacting us when someone is starting, who will be here with them, what the duration of their touring is.
Okay.
I mean, I looked up a number of times because
Well,
I'm
that's
already
when we
tied
drop
up
the
to people
bus
in
here.
like in our
Right.
district.
I know.
I know it's every
They
touch,
will
yeah.
not, so.
Because I was following a bus and some kid got dropped off.
At the Red House.
No, at the,
All the time, so I'm always
I
shooting
know a
down
guy.
the now.
Sam,
Oh, okay.
somebody,
That's a different thing.
Yeah,
That's a-
that's-
that's a- that's a-
I can let them know. And it was coming, they crossed Route 4 and went over.
it was going towards the high school, it was going that way.
So
And
you didn't have to cross Route 4.
the kid
Yeah.
did not have to cross Route 4. He more or less walked from the bus to,
Okay.
I know a guy. And I don't understand how you could drop some kid there. You can't drop some kid off the lot.
Yeah, okay. I will ask Howard.
Or the brewery.
Well, it was at lunch, it was like 1:30, so I don't think the brewery was open.
Okay. We'll assume positive intent.
If you was going to the brewery, it was rather.
For the library, oh, I'm sorry.
I was, there's not really those, because I'm gonna bet it's the family who owns the restaurant's son who's coming home from school,
Yeah, it sounds like a special.
which is fine, like what I'm saying is I agree with you,
Because if we have to be let off at a certain place for parent supervision, they do those things.
You can't drop somebody out here then?
no, I
That's
agree
just,
with- I agree
that's a
with Kevin.
management choice. You
Depends on
want
the
them to
age, right?
choose something different.
If they're under 12, right?
Yeah, I think it's under 12.
Oh, yeah. that's what-
It's a favor.
Yeah.
There's no way that's a
Or it
policy
could
on
just
that.
be that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I mean, like,
Yeah,
it's like a,
It's not a library policy.
if they
it's a
wanted to, they
state.
could drop the bus here. They just, and I figure now's our time to ask.
well, I think we talked about this last
I
month quite a
did
bit.
ask him,
We're not
Did
responsible.
talk
They're under
about
12 and
Yeah.
nobody,
about that.
And we talked about it last month as like, you've had a conversation with Howard and we were very comfortable with saying, okay, no bus.
they're gonna monitor it and
Yeah,
keep track of it. We don't have that for other tutors, but we haven't had a problem with other tutors.
But not with tutors, for an after-school bus. I did talk with Howard and he talked with the transportation person in charge of that, and I was told no. So,
they don't even have enough buses in Burlington, Harwington to help the crew team get to practice or get to the school or get to scrimmages. There's like a major bus shortage right now, so I agree that like there's a driver shortage. So like they're not gonna be able to start something in the middle of a driver shortage for the library. It's just not gonna. They've combined so many routes in our town. Some kids are on the bus for an hour, 10 minutes. Wow. Yeah, because that's all they can do.
Yeah.
We're a rural place. We're bullish.
Well, maybe even if they could make it work for September 1. I don't expect them to do it in the middle of the calendar. That's cool.
I think we talked about supervision when we got here too.
Yeah, and how that's gonna create.
How does Avon, Farmington,
And how did they do?
I think we were talking about supervision with tutors, and that's not
Yeah.
a responsibility.
Oh,
Yeah. That's, falls under their job descriptions if they have a student that they're tutoring, they're responsible for
But
supervising.
the students, if they come into the library, even if they're coming in and they don't need to be supervised, that can create other problems as well. Like in Farmington, they have a designated teen area that's very separate from that's not very separate. I mean, it's 2 floors. They're up on the 2nd floor. Have you ever been up there well, I'm sure you've been up there when all the kids are up there.
We want more kids in the library. That's,
We don't want
that's,
them hanging out though. We want them using materials. So how do we know they're gonna use the library appropriately?
how do I know anybody's, how do you know I'm using the library program? I might be looking up bad things. I mean, we want kids in the library. That's, I mean, we want this to be a resource that kids that age feel, I mean, there can't only be, sports and home. This should be a welcoming environment. And if we can lean on this guy for, I don't care how long until we find these, until they get the resources to do it, we're helping them out by letting their people come here and tutor. We should ask for something in return.
Statistically, if you ask somebody to do something 4 times, they'll pay a squeaky wheel.
Just as a matter of record, I agree with you, Kevin. I think that we should encourage as many people to come, especially our young people in our community. And I think it is a shame that they haven't made this work amongst all of the discussions we've had over many years. But it doesn't, I agree, I don't think we should stop trying if it's the collective group's feeling, but I would agree that I would like to see it happen.
Well, I'll keep that on. Let's see what it
Because
says. I mean, I've been told.
all of the surrounding towns
Repeatedly.
have the ability to have people do group projects together. Kids from St. Mary's School walks to the Simsbury Library. They have the opportunity to do these things that we don't because we're not in walking distance. And I think that we have to make it accessible because of that. My own.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
What is
Every
the
other
Farmington library?
town.
What about them? We also are a unique situation, right?
They're
It's like
technically walkable
Farmington,
because you don't even have to go on the main road. You just have to walk up that back road from the school.
But I'm wondering, like, for elementary, or are we talking teens?
Well, I guess for teens it would be a ride, right? Teens would be a ride, so I apologize, yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering what you guys were thinking. Like, are we targeting the teen group with the bus? Are we targeting the?
Teen.
We are
Harbor
targeting
High,
the
Harbor
teens,
High School you're doing,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Let me say this, I've reached out to Howard numerous times and I've been told numerous times in numerous ways, no. So who would like to approach a meeting? Like, go to him and say, let's have a meeting.
We're available.
Let me know and I can set something up with whatever works for whoever would like to go and talk with him and sit down face to face and bring him here and show him the resources that we have and do that.
I'm available.
I'm available too. With advance notice, I could make myself available.
Okay. We'll try that.
What you can do is ask.
Yeah.
And try to get funding for it if we need funding. You can let us know. Is that all we've done with the use policy?
Yes.
Okay, new business, library code of conduct.
So this really is the same as our behavior policy, but I'd like to have it printed and displayed in the library, just so people know what our expectations are. So any concerns about displaying the behavior policy?
Like in terms of where you would put it.
Yeah.
Where would be a good place? Because it's like not short, but it's
It's not sure, I could definitely
Yeah.
condense it font-wise to fit on a page, but we could display it maybe in the, on the bulletin board would be a good spot, and then maybe somewhere down in the computer area.
Is there a way to do it so that it doesn't get defaced? Because unfortunately, that happens. Like
You've never had a problem.
under one of those like
How
glassy
about
things.
this?
Like
When you log onto our computer, should that be the first thing that should
When you
go?
log on it, we have to have the SIPA policy on because we're SIPA compliant. So when you use our public computers, the first thing that comes on is saying like, you're not going to use the internet for anything.
Well,
So,
work where I am makes you go through 10 things before you get on. So can you have a second page?
not everybody that's coming to the library is going to use the computer. So
Good
having
point.
this viewed, I think in a more public space would be.
Okay.
And what about near like the bathrooms, you know, like on the wall, I can't remember how much space there is there, but I was thinking not laminate, but that glass, that's changeable.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
Do you know what I mean? It's
Like
like a glass plaque,
Like
and you
a-
can put the paper behind it.
Like
Yeah.
a, not plexiglass.
Like a frame.
Yeah.
Frame. That's like, you can change the frame.
Yeah.
I can see, I think it would have to go either mounted to the wall or the bulletin board because that slat wall will be coming down, so. But yeah, no, something like that, so put it in something durable, okay?
Yeah.
Have we ever had our bulletin board just torn up?
Defaced. Yeah.
So we should have it on there.
Yeah,
No, I was just thinking of other things too,
Yeah,
like a more
yeah.
permanent, I don't know, bulletin board to me is like, they change it frequently. She
Right,
wants this
right.
to be,
But if we put it in the bathroom, it's likely to be the
I was
fence.
thinking not in the
Not-
bathroom, outside.
Outside, yeah.
Like by an exit and entrance place,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
that would
where
make more
it'd be
sense.
visible if they're doing something wrong.
We should go on the scavenger hunt and look for other places.
well, I can see, we're usually right by the circulation desk, so
Yeah.
I can.
I would
Yeah,
think
I
probably
think
more
that's
than one place.
feasible.
Right, more than one place, but like
Could be
near
more
like
than one
a popular place.
You also could have it thickly laminated, so
Mhm.
in itself, it's its own thing when you do it, so something,
You could have April do a scavenger hunt. with-
Can you find other
Yes,
libraries?
sign, yeah, things.
Where's
you
it get your
library?
You got it.
didn't take any input from us, just,
Okay, we'll hang it up and put it
Yeah,
in
that sounds
a
good.
highly visible spot.
they could check them off, all the things they find, and they know you've read it then, you've read our policy,
There you go.
you know the rules.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to-
And then there's a
Of course,
quiz. What's
I mean-
number 7?
No, what's number 4? I forget about 4 all the time. I'm guilty. I can't help you guys are so like outgoing and reach out. Christy and I are horrible. I can't come in here and she's like,
Okay.
New- I could do new business now, I want two things.
Uh-oh.
Well, actually, I discussed both of them already. One is the availability of all the things we're responsible for at the Connecticut Library Board website. And I don't think anybody here has read it, and I just started reading it. But it has a lot of things that Jody's put down for her comments on material selection and challenge of materials. A lot of that's in the library board website. And the other thing we got, because was the director's terms, I'm gonna meet with, we're gonna go to a play with Craig and Nancy. So
Okay,
I'll ask him to start something,
gotcha, okay.
and see if something.
Yep, and then just pass along the information to
And I've
Doug.
got two yeses and a maybe so far
what was that for?
for the director's, terms. We have 4 directors,
Oh, yes.
terms of that. We have one possible.
I'm getting pulled in another direction, that's why. So let me get back to you.
Okay. And as I say, I knew this, and I won't be here, Sandy's gonna have to run.
For June.
For June.
Got it. Well, we're gonna have a big party. You're gonna miss it.
But I voted for everything we're gonna change, so, yeah, I have a good part.
Can you vote by proxy, like in order to like get her, like so she doesn't, she's gonna be, yeah, because those policies that she's gonna just like do a couple tweaks.
Only if we don't have a quorum at the meeting,
If we have a quorum, then it doesn't.
yeah.
But there's no like, I'm gonna be absent, but I
I'm
would.
not gonna be.
Yeah.
I think if we
Yeah.
don't, we're gonna have a special meeting, so we don't have to wait.
That's what I was
until
I'm gonna have
September.
6 hour difference, I'm gonna be at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I don't want you calling us at 2. I was just saying.
Oh, after the
But like
fact.
she said, we can always have a special meeting.
After the fact, yeah. I'll be on,
Can I bring up something for the,
So those things keep going on and on.
yes,
I visited another library, and when I order materials, it's behind the desk here.
Mhm.
And I took a picture of this library because they put it out in the public.
Yep.
So we've gone to self-service for checkouts. Maybe you should think about putting that out so that I can look through, pick up my book and check out, and I don't need to wait in line. And I just thought maybe to free up your people, because I had a book recently and I had to wait in line, where I could look through, find Mullen, and grab my book and then self-check out.
Okay,
It caught me when I went to this library that they had a wall of books just waiting for people to pick them up.
yeah.
And I thought,
Where would you think that one could go?
I was, well, you'll have to tell me how many books you have, because I can't look around, I have not seen how many books. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like you have thousands,
No,
but
yeah.
it looks like,
Sometimes, you know.
so based on the space, I was wondering if there was room, like, more or less, like where all the new CD books are over. Could you put a shelf? I guess I'll let you choose where to put it, but I saw it and I said, oh geez, maybe that would be nice if people could self-serve, you know, and free up the people who do other things instead of looking through books. Let me look through the books and pull my name.
Okay.
For the record,
I kind of, yeah.
I'm going to interrupt. For the record, I like asking because that's how they know me.
Oh, well,
It's very personable here, and it's one of the reasons why.
Small town.
Yeah,
What library were you at?
I was down in Florida.
You know, a lot of places started doing that with COVID. They started doing lockers and
Yeah.
tables, and they would wrap the books and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
a lot
Marco
of it.
Island just lets you pick up your own book.
Sounds like a good vacation.
All the stores are going there now, you know, you do on your order online and you
Well,
come to the shelf and it's all.
I
set
tried
up.
to take a picture of Chipotle,
Mhm.
because I figured if people aren't stealing Chipotle, I really don't think people are going to steal the cookbook I have that
Now,
says Kevin
can I
Warren.
see, are those all wrapped for privacy? Because some libraries will wrap them for privacy. They're
No.
facing in. So, I mean, if we had the space and I could find the space, maybe there would be an option. I would have to talk to
I haven't
LCI
thought
to
about the
see
privacy part.
if you want to do self-serve.
I didn't.
And if somebody opts to do that, I could see.
Do you want my other thing that I saw when I was taking
Although, I'm
pictures?
trying to think, when you check out a book, when you use self-checkout, it won't tell you if you have a hold, right? Yeah, there would be some logistics. I'd have to talk to Sam about that.
What you do with
Because
those
sometimes you
first,
don't know you have a hold, and they go, Trish,
You
you have
don't.
like 4 holds back here. Where have you been?
don't. Even if you use
In 3 days,
self-checkout.
and then I
so-
Thank
Do you
you.
want the other thing I
Yeah,
saw
of
when I was
course.
going around? It says blind date with a book.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, okay.
We did that a few months
I
ago.
must not have been here when the blind date
Yeah,
was
we did
happening.
it.
I thought-
Jasmine did that as a display in February. She wrote a little blurb about what it was about to kind of give you some clues, and it was all wrapped up in lovely wrapping paper. And yeah,
These were in brown.
yeah, she made it very fancy.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
it's some very
very
elegant
neat.
wrapping. Yep, we did that.
And those were to purchase, right?
These were
No,
purchased.
ours.
Those
No,
were to purchase.
Oh.
These were the
Those
purchase.
were to purchase, those were in the bookstore.
Oh, no, yeah, they did that. I was at the Hickory Stick over the weekend and they did that with,
Washington?
they did it with ARCs. They had advanced reader copies that haven't been completely edited yet, so it was a great way to get rid of ARCs, so you could do a blind date with a book. We did it for circulation purposes.
no, we already have that, I mean, the books sale, it's the same way.
But not like a blind date, like
But
that
they-
was
but
like
they
an
can walk out with the
anticipatory.
books and they don't, they pay for them.
Oh,
So
for-
if you look at it that way, that we don't,
Well, I don't know. I
It
tried
was,
to
it's
take
very
a
cute.
picture.
it was a
Yeah.
cute idea, yeah, she
Yeah.
did that for February, she had some good feedback, some people really enjoyed the date that they went on, so I think actually Danny's wife did one and she posted a nice comment on our Instagram about it.
I don't know. Those were my two things that, because I feel like I've been away for a while. I was in Florida, I was in Houston,
Right.
I haven't been around.
so
So
one idea though, if they have an option to do that, because you lose the personal touch
Yeah.
when they come for a book, if they wanna talk to you. But if they check off the box, if they'd rather get the stuff,
see, the deal is you don't get the personal touch when I'm in line and you feel like you have to move on.
That's when you talk to the person next to you.
Well,
'cause
what
we're
I'm
so out of
upset
touch
about
as a community.
in this
do we not?
conversation is how come
It's
somebody
forced.
else didn't come up to the desk to help you, which is
No,
my
that's
concern,
that's
so.
okay. I
You
am
know.
more than patient enough, but I just feel like I guess what I want to do is I want to elevate you people who do the higher demand things. Me looking through finding my book is something I feel like I can do. You help that kid find that right book, or you make that great recommendation. That or the higher level stuff is what I want.
I'd have to really look and talk to
Okay,
Sam at LCI
that's-
about that, because it would have to be something where it would pop up when you use self-checkout, and it's not set up to do that now. So
Okay.
I would, if you went and checked out a book, it wouldn't tell you how to hold ready, so I'd have to ask him about that, but I can reach out to him. So.
Okay, I just thought it. I said, "Ooh, maybe
Yeah,
we
a
can-"
lot
I
of
wish
people
it
did
would
that for
track-
COVID,
I wish it would track what I've read.
It will.
It
You
does.
have to opt in on
Yeah, it
the
totally does.
website. So if you are
Really? I did not. Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
God,
If
it's so
they opted in, it would be a much smaller.
You know how I learned? I asked somebody,
Yes, see there. If you
Do it the
go
other way, opt out.
in my account,
just saying.
so you're gonna put your library card in.
That would change the
Maybe
space.
I keep signing things out under my
And
husband.
then.
So this is my other board that's like making my phone jingle at crew because I'm not answering anybody's messages. Oh my God.
So if you go into my account, you can say
It's like probably
reading history and you can opt in.
So isn't that awesome?
You can,
It really helps when you're trying to remember the name of the
so
person.
you can, I'm
Right?
opting in right now, but you could opt out if you didn't want it to remember.
Oh.
So you can see like everything I've
You
checked.
gotta
out.
remember to do the.
Yeah, but it'll remember your reading history for you.
It's so great.
Yeah. And if it
And I
doesn't
think
work, just go
Hoopla
to
does that as well. They keep
Yeah,
track.
Hoopla does,
Yes.
yeah, because I made the mistake of checking out something accidentally, I didn't want that, I get all these recommendations, like, oh my God, I'm like, oh, I don't want that.
So we already have the feature.
Yes, apparently we do.
We already have the feature.
No, for what she
Not
was talking
for
about.
what
What she was
Karen
talking about,
said.
not what he was talking about.
Okay.
Well, thank you,
What's
Jody.
You're
next?
very welcome. I'm
8:03.
gonna use it as a reference question, so.
There you go.
Sandy, are you ready for me to go to the budget report?
We're done with new business, everybody,
Oh,
any
I-
other new business things?
Yep.
Yep.
And we're doing the budget.
We are in good shape right now. You will see we're very close to being at the end of our materials budget. Right now, we're at 88%. But I have that money that we got from all of Caitlin's hustle and pulling holds. So we have money from Deliver It that I'm going to use for materials. So it's about another $2,000. And then we are going to go over on building maintenance, and that's because this year I had to have the compliance manual done, which was $800, and we had to do that. We were out of compliance if OSHA came. And when Ben and Guy and Keith did the lights, Scott got all the materials on his end, but it got billed to our building supplies here. I have asked at town hall, and I'm going to ask them to reclassify that into capital. So we are nowhere near, like, you're not doing digital side anymore, or a few other things. So I'm going to see if the Board of Finance will reclassify the LED lights for capital this year. So we'll go back under.
So total
Out
was,
of what line item?
That was out of building maintenance.
Is there anything else we need for that's capital?
What was approved last year was an AWE computer, and we just got a new one, so we're not going to get another one this year. The digital sign, which we're not doing, and the HVAC, which they came and they said it makes a noise. They said there is nothing they can do to make that fan make a noise without ripping everything out and going forward. So the other thing that was an unexpected building expense was Save More came out to assess the HVAC system, which was $200. And then computer services were going to be over because there was that bill of, I don't even remember, it was $2,000 from a few years ago that we didn't have the form done. And everything else is in really good shape. We're actually 73% spent, so.
Before I left, and I know you might have addressed this in past meetings, you were thinking about like having, maybe getting rid of train. We
We did, we had an assessment done. They said that was the assessment, that was $200.
Okay.
Save More Energy came out, they assessed our whole unit and our system. They said that our system is only 5 years old, it's in very good shape.
Okay.
It should be another 25 years, knock on wood. They said to replace the whole thing would be upwards of $80,000 or
Okay,
more.
5
So
years old.
we are in good shape, they said.
Okay.
I also want to say too, and again, I'm gonna knock on wood for this one, I have not had to have a train come out once this year for an emergency service call, which is a huge savings. That's normally like $800 just to have them out, so. We've been very lucky.
So-
been able to get through that.
Just from my own knowledge, so like under adult services, we've only used 26%. And if we run over, like for computer services, are we allowed to use that money that's left over?
What they've told me, and that's because Jasmine just came on in January, but what they told me is they said, don't worry about the individual lines, look at that overall number. And as long as you're in good shape with
Okay.
that,
We're at
you're
so-
okay.
so-
75% would be for the 9 months.
Yeah, I think right around now, it would be normally around like 82 or 83,
Yeah,
so.
so we're,
But yeah, that, they did tell me, because I kept saying, but, and they said, just look at that number.
they look at the overall budget when they do the town.
That, yeah, and it's the same thing with the teen library too, like, we've gone way over on the junior library assistant, because I've had to have Kyle and Caitlin come in so much to cover, because we've been short,
I know,
but
I told my husband to go look, but I missed it.
we're low on adult services and we're low on teen. because
They look at electricity.
We're lower, yeah, and fuel and
90%.
propane. Well, on propane, we've done really well. I think we've only used 65%, so.
Should I go yes? Yes, so yes.
Does anybody have any questions on the budget? Any other questions?
Under 75%, they're happy.
I don't know, maybe next month, is there any capital items you want to fund? It seems like you have.
Well,
extra
I'm
money.
going to ask about the lights being done, but I'd have to think if there's anything else that we need and go for the Board of Finance. Unless someone has suggestions for anything that needs to be replaced or improved, our computers are all up to date and current. We just got new copy machines, we just got the laminator, we have, truly, I can't think of any big ticket items
Do
that.
you need any furniture? I remember when we did the remodel, it seemed like we took all the old furniture out and put it back in, and some we've gotten new.
Yeah.
Do you need any furniture?
I need a bookshelf, but before I get a bookshelf, I need to find out where it could go. So hopefully in like 5 years, when the computers at the public stations need to be replaced, my hope is that if we don't need all of them in that spot, we can put a bookshelf there, because I am running out of room for adult books and materials. So that's my hope. But right now, I just don't have a place to put a bookshelf. I would love a bookshelf, but I don't have the space for it. And but anything big ticket, there's still time if anyone can think of anything. But needs wise, everything is pretty current.
Good.
Is there anything that we need that would go with the picnic table that gets charged, or like anything related to that? Because if that fell under FERPA,
That was under the ARPA.
I mean
And
ARPA.
we haven't brought
Sorry
them out.
about
Jim
that.
was waiting they just did the first mow the other day and then it was pouring, but we've got 2 bistro tables and some other chairs, a brand new picnic table on the children's side.
So it'd be good
There's
for like outdoor programs
there's
that Read
quite a
April's doing.
bit, yeah,
That's
yeah,
I couldn't think of any other category except for like if you go outside,
yeah.
what's your outdoor space look like? It looks good.
It's gonna look great in a few weeks when we get that sensory walk painted, so that's gonna be
exciting.
as soon as I get a couple of these when it's not downpouring, we can all paint. We were all set to do it last week. So.
Can I ask about the solar panels? Would that be
I have no new update for you.
Jesus, we got that long.
So I ask all the time and I have no new.
Because they were supposed to come in.
It would have been done.
They said there was gonna be a
pile of them waiting.
Yeah, but they said that probably not.
They,
So still not. We see the pile, we're closer.
Did the town sign a contract with them?
don't know, I'll ask Doug about that. So.
That, it seems like the funniest contract I ever heard.
Yeah, I do ask and I do not have any news, so,
Oh, yeah.
new news, so. Nor has there been a new updated sheet of time tables.
Statistics,
Statistics, we're doing great. If you look, we are over 100% up from last year at this time. Our visits are great. Our library card registrations are great. So you all know Jordan left, our teen librarian, and that's why there were no teen programs. I'll be interviewing teen librarians. It's actually now children's and teen. I'll be interviewing them next week. So hopefully.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you. I had a slow start and then ended up getting some really promising candidates, so. And everything's great, the online is getting used. I'm actually about to have the Friends add some money to Hoopla. And then some of the ARPA money will also be going to Hoopla and Overdrive, and we'll be able to buy an Overdrive book for the first time in 3 years, so it's an exciting moment. So stats are looking very good. Upcoming news and events. I want to share that the Burlington Public Library was the recipient of the Small Library Publicity Award for CLA, the Connecticut Library Association. Caitlin Chakowitz, she's not just our circulation supervisor, she is also our social media maven for Instagram. She put together a video for last year's summer reading promotion where she turned the library into the Love Boat, and it was like, come aboard, we're waiting for you. And it won the award this year. We're very proud, we're very excited.
That's so awesome.
Did you say the award again, the public?
It's the Publicity Award for the Connecticut Library Association.
That was the hats, right?
It was hats and music. She edited the video. It's not just a matter of taking film. She has to edit a lot of it. Actually, she has so much that she does a blooper video too. But she, it was awarded today, and Sarah McCusker grabbed it for us. I'm just waiting to bring it back. So that I want to congratulate her and recognize her. They did a nice mention of it at the Board of Selectmen meeting.
Yeah, but that's summer reading, right? So
That's
what
summer
we're-
reading.
That's good.
She's
That's
cooking up
Please,
something
I'm gonna
really
spell
good.
it wrong.
If you're not following
Go to
her
the
Instagram, just check it out. And she puts so much
I
work
know.
and effort into it. It's phenomenal, the things that she's so
I think that's
current.
close, but I would just go to the, yeah.
And then I'd like to share what Scott Norton, our local history specialist, is putting together. Part of the ARPA funds will be going towards digitizing our history collection. So we have a scanner that we'll be getting, a fast photo scanner and a large overhead scanner, and also we'll be able to pay an intern to come and help digitize the collection. We'll be using Omeka, and right now we're using it for free, but we'll run out of space and we'll end up doing a paid version, which will be very small fee. I think it's an annual fee of $60. So if you go on, this will be embedded into our site. You can search the site, which was something you all had asked about at the last meeting. Will it be searchable? So we just started looking into this a week ago. So he put a couple of things together just to give you an idea. So let's say I want to put in, see if there's anything on Hogan's site or no. It'll tell you if we have a collection and any photos from it. And you can click on it and you can see different pictures. And then scroll down. It'll have everything in our collection. We're working on finding out how to put captions on things. You can also do videos, so he'll be uploading videos to the site, like the one he did for our website.
How is this located now?
This is Omeka. We'll be using
Oh,
Omeka.
M-I-C-A.
Yeah, it's up there,
OMEKA. So he'll have exhibits, monthly exhibits that he'll put up, and people can cycle through. And
Really cool.
it will be searchable, it will be categorized. It looks, I mean, the pictures are so nice and clear. They come out beautifully. I told them to be prepared to be inundated with donations of photos,
Oh,
so we'll find out
probably.
this is what we do. But the whole collection, photo collection, will end up eventually being digitized and put on this site. So you can browse. If you want to
I'm assuming the tavern, the group, the historical group, they know about this already.
Not yet,
Oh,
no,
that's
I
great.
haven't
It's so
met
exciting.
with them about that,
Okay.
so, yeah, they might have some, the way it works is they get all like the stuff and we get all the paper, so they might have things to do, but,
Okay.
yeah, I have not shared this with them yet, this is like a baby, he just put this together. He
Okay.
actually worked over the weekend on his own time at home to put this together, so I just wanted to recognize him for the work he's
So
doing.
excited.
He loves doing
That's his
but
jam.
it's, I think it's the coolest thing. We're going to have this available on the website. Anybody that wants to browse virtually can do it and
So it will be like one of those links that we can click.
Yep.
And it just takes you over
Absolutely,
to
it'll
it.
take you
over
right
to
here.
the Omeka.
It'll take you right here
Yeah.
and then,
That's awesome.
yeah, if you want to search, if you want to see, oh, do they have pictures of Flag Day? Do they have pictures of Old Tavern days? And you might see yourself in a picture, you never know.
Yeah.
So we got
So what was
chat.
what was that parade? Memorial Day.
Yep, we've got plenty of pictures for that too. I think we've got, some to go up. And the building report, let me just see if I had anything new or exciting. But I think I mentioned Ben will be replacing the batteries in our exit signs. When we had them inspected a few weeks ago, they said a bunch of them were out and need to be replaced. And it was going to cost $500 for the batteries. We ended up getting them on Amazon for $50 and he'll replace them for me. And then, he'll also take care of the flagpole lights for us too. And other than that, the building is still running, so. That's everything.
We're happy about that.
Yes. Happy. Every day, I don't have to call in the middle of the night.
Any questions? Motion, adjourn the meeting.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting, if you're ready.
I'm
She's still typing. Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor? The meeting has been adjourned,
Thank you, Jen and Danny, for joining in Zoom. And Vietnam. Hope you all feel better soon.
June, what's the next one?
Nothing wrong with it.
I'll see it in September then.
Okay.
It maybe wasn't once upon a time, but it's been working, it's been inspected, and don't jinx me and bring bad luck, but don't worry, it's been working.
Yes.
I'll get in touch with Sandy for the.
For
see if we can run the
June,
meeting.
gotcha.
June 6th.
Okay.
Is the next meeting.
Excuse me, Sandy.
Oh, here, here.